welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today we're going to be talking about some books that I want to read before the end of 2024. The fact that 2024 is ending in like less than a month and a half. Actually, I think it's a month and a half from today. Today's the 15th and that just kind of blows my mind. 2023 was an absolutely shit year for me, but 2024 has been really amazing in some ways and really terrible in other ways. But definitely better than 2023. So I'm excited for what 2025 has in store for me. So I have a couple of books that I want to read before the end of the year. I saw a couple of people do like 10 before the end. I only came up with 8. I do not want to put a lot of pressure on myself. I have this year especially gotten better about not pressuring myself with what I want to read, and like being much more lax with TBRs, and just like I've always been shit at them, but I've continued to like make them and then feel bad when I don't do them. So now I make them and I don't feel that bad. So I have been doing a lot better with just like not pressuring myself, and like I lowered my Goodreads goal. I've never done that before, so I'm like in a good place with the pressure on myself when it comes to reading. When it comes to other things, absolutely not. But when it comes to reading, I have been much better about not like overly pressuring myself and being like, oh my god, you have to read this before this time. We're not doing that. So I have eight books that I want to read before the end of 2024. I think two of them are new releases. The rest of them are previously released, maybe this year, maybe years ago, and I'm just gonna get right into them. So the first one that I have is Clarence Manor by Devney Perry. This book previously was called Ivy, and it's, sorry, I knew it was right behind me. Devney recently sent me a copy. It was recovered. I think it was this year that it was recovered, but it was recovered and retitled, and it's now called Clarence Manor. It is a chunky book, but it follows, I think, 6 people who are going to this like private university. It's supposed to be like Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl vibes. And I've had it on my TBR for ages. It's one of the only Devney Perry books that I have not read, and Devney sent me a copy. I really have no excuses, so I would really, really love to read this book before the end of this year. The next one I have is From Here to Eternity. I also own this book. It's in my bedroom though. I own 2 copies of this book because I was sent a physical ARC, and then I had already pre-ordered the physical copy. But I also have the audiobook of this. It's one of the ones that's like next up on my audio TBR. I know I said that in my like book haul video, which was like a week and a half ago, but I got caught up with like work stuff having to do, so didn't get around to that one. So I would really, really love to. I did start the audiobook. I have like, but I only got like 20 minutes in before I had to switch to something else that I had to read at that moment. So I would really like to get to it. I've liked A.L. Jackson's previous books. I've only read 1 or 2 from her though, maybe 3. And I think I liked 2 and I didn't like one of them. So I'm excited for this one. It seems really interesting. It's gotten really good reviews. I saw Tori read it and liked it. So I don't know a ton about it. I know it's like features like a motorcycle club, and A.L. Jackson's books are usually like a little bit more emotional. So I'm excited, and I hope that I love it. Then this is one of the new releases. I have Bourbon and Secrets by Victoria Wilder. I actually have Bourbon and Lies right next to me. I just opened an Amazon package of books that I had ordered during the election, panic ordered because I was feeling really depressed. So I bought Bourbon and Lies because it's one of my favorite books of this year, and I absolutely 100% obsessed with that book, and I am so excited for the rest of the series. So this is book 2 in the series. It comes out on December 6th, and I will definitely be picking it up on December 6th to read that book. I'm very, very excited about it. It is about a group of 3 brothers who own a bourbon distillery. They make bourbon, and the first one was romantic suspense. The second one is single dad. And I don't know if it's also romantic suspense, but the cover is one of the sexiest covers I've ever seen. I am so fucking here for it, and I absolutely 100% loved book 1, so I am seriously looking forward to book 2. The next one that I have is actually a Christmas romance, and it is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. This is the book that made Megan Quinn a New York Times bestseller, and it has gotten really, really good reviews. It's one that I really want to read. I I like Megan Quinn. I have liked her for years. She has some misses from me, but a lot of her books I really, really love, and my roommate is a huge fan of Megan Quinn also. So I think we're gonna buddy read this one together in December. I have a bunch of like holiday ones that I want to get to. Maybe I'll do like a holiday vlog. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. I haven't done a vlog in a really, really long time, but I have like a ton of like holiday themed romances that I want to get to, and this is one of them. So I'm very excited to get to it. We'll be reading it in December. We'll be buying the audiobook. Very, very excited. Very happy for Megan for hitting the New York Times bestseller list. Number 5 that I have is Darkest Sins by Neva Altaj. If you were here last year, I think it was last year, or was maybe at the beginning of this year. I don't remember. I think it was last year. I became obsessed with the Perfectly Imperfect series by Neva Altaj. I absolutely loved this Mafia series, and this is the next one in the series. It's been out for ages and I just have not gotten to it yet. So I am very, very excited to get back into the series and read this one. I truly don't remember who the couple is for this one, but I'm very excited. I loved the Perfectly Imperfect world and Neva Altaj's writing, so I'm excited to go back into it. Then we come to my next, the only other new release that is on this list, and that is Forever the Highlands by Samantha Young. This one comes out December 5th, so the day before Bourbon and Secrets, but I love this series. I think this series I've read all this year. I think it was all this year that I read this, and I have really loved almost every single book in this series. There have been so many 5 stars in this series. I love the vibes and the cozy feels of this series, and I am incredibly excited for Fife and Ailey's book, which is Forever the Highlands. It is a best friend sister romance, and the heroine is a celebrity. She's an actress, and I loved Fife in the previous book in this series, Northern Twilight, or was it Skies Over Caledonia? I never remember the order, but I think it was Northern Twilight. Fife was a larger part of that book, and I loved him. I loved his character. I loved the little tiny glimpses we got of him and Ailey, so I'm very, very excited for them to be together, and I'm really excited to read this book. I already know that I'm getting an arc for this one, so I will be reading it early, and I am so excited. The next one that I have is a little bit of surprise, or it might come as a little bit of surprise for you guys. It definitely is a little bit hesitant for me. It's the only one on this list that I'm not like really excited about reading, and that is Leather and Lurk by Brynn Weaver. I did not like Butcher and Blackbird. I was not a fan of it at all. I actually DNF'd that book, but so many people love it. So many people love it, and I just didn't. I didn't like it. But I was watching a video, I don't remember whose video it was, but I recently read Lights Out by Nevessa Allen, and I absolutely adored that book. I loved that one so much. I gave it 5 stars. It's also on my top favorite lists of the year, books of the year. It was so freaking good, and I loved the energy in it. And I was watching a video, a YouTube video, and the person who was in the video was talking about how much it reminded her of the series of Butcher and Blackbird, of like the humor mixed with the like serial killerness. And I didn't like Butcher and Blackbird, so I was really like let down about the fact that I didn't like it, and I was like, ooh, I really want to read something else like Lights Out. But this person specifically, I wish I could remember. I will think about it, and if I remember, I will put their name in the comments, or in the description, but I really don't remember. It was a while ago at this point. She was talking about how she liked book 2 better. She liked Leather and Lark better than Butcher and Blackbird. And so I really want to try it and see if I'll like it. I'm giving myself full permission to DNF if I don't like it, but I really want something else like Lights Out, so I'm going to try out Leather and Lark. Then the last one that I have is one that I've seen so many people talk about this year. It has become so incredibly popular. It's definitely going to make a bunch of people's favorite books of the year list, and that is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah Parker. This is a fantasy romance, and it is hella chunky. It is so big, and I haven't read a lot of fantasy romance this year, but I do really love a good fantasy romance, so I really want to see what the like hype is about, what everyone loves about it, and I just need a good fantasy romance. And I tend to read more fantasy romance in the winter, or like the cold cozy time when I'm like, ooh, under a blanket, you know, drinking hot chocolate, that kind of energy. I like to read fantasy romance then, so I'm hoping that I can get to When the Moon Hatched and that I'll love it as much as everyone else. But that is it for this video. It is definitely a short one, but I wanted to give a little list of books that I want to read before the end of the year. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what is on your list to read before the end of the year, and let me know any books that you think are going to be on your top favorite books of the year that I might not have read. Leave those in the comments too, because I'd love to get some more recommendations. But that's going to be it. So like this video if you liked it, subscribe, stick around, see more content from me, and I hope that you have the absolute best day. Bye.